relax, and enjoy another resin crafting with Chris Collected. Today, I'm going to finish up the project on the right with making a bunch of those little circles, and then I got this one to the left too that matches. And then I figured I'll go ahead and finish the mystery mold. Mystery mold, what could it be? I know, but you don't yet. And of course, I was like, it's Christmassy time. And so I grabbed some of these foils. I have them in all the colors of the rainbow and gold and blues and all kinds of cool stuff. And so I'm going to put some of that in there into that snowflake. And this is another new cup that I got. I wanted to test this one out. This one is the biggest cup that I've ever got. It's 600 mil total. The other ones were about 400 mil total. So, I mean, this thing is quite some bigger. And it's actually the biggest that my resiners can handle. And so I'm just going to do one today, 200 mils of A and 200 mils of B. That's our standard amount that we would do, but done into one instead of two. Now I'm going to spin it on up. This one took a little bit extra to spin because it is such a big container. I went ahead and I moved it around a bunch of times, like move it forward and backwards, and just to make sure that it got everything in there. I could have also paused it and scraped the sides. That would have worked as well. All right, now I'm going to let all the excess drain back in so I can get back up to that 400 mil mark. And as you can see earlier, I added a lot of bubbles in when I poured it. I wanted to just really get a ton of bubbles going to see what would happen. And as you can see here in this time lapse, the cup starts to crush. It is actually touching the top. And so there is nowhere for that air to go. And it is just absolutely absorbing all of it. You can see it's actually crushing the can. I usually don't include this, but I thought it'd be cool to include. All right, first up, this is going to be for my cousin. And so I'm going to put all kinds of fun things in it. So I got some little clay bits that are just like summertime. I got these colorful stars and moons, as well as purple. And this is some like silver type, like white glitter. Next up, some chameleon. And now look at this shiny red. Put in the comments below as quick as you can what you think the color's going to be when it's all done. I'll give you a hint. It's going to be a real tough one because those chameleons, you never really know how they're going to end up. But the color is beautiful. As you can see here, that chameleon in the middle is still all that white. And it's getting really difficult to actually get it all in there. All right, there I go. All right, it's looking really good. I think some of that white is still not 100% mixed, so off camera I went ahead and mixed it even more. This sucker, because it's such a big container, it really takes a lot to mix. But it looks so good. Now, time to pour with Resin Art Improved. First up is the mystery mold. I know what it is, you don't know, but you will the demolding. I wanted to guarantee that it got done today, so I went ahead and filled them up. Next up is the tray. Something that's really cool about today's episode is everything that I pour today is this red color. But wait till the demolding, and I guarantee it will not stay that color. All right, this one's nicely filled up to the lid, so now I'm going to do the other part. The idea is I wanted this to match the others that I had already made, so I decided not to fill this up 100%, but I wanted it to really match that one that I just poured, so I did make it about 75% full. And next up, I have these gold foils, or in this case, red foils. And, I'm just going to try to dab them around. And it ended up not being my favorite piece that I ever made. But, it's always good to have some fun and practice. I got this foil off AliExpress, so it only costed me a couple of bucks. And it was good to try it out. I think in the future, I'm going to not use my hand. As you can see, the glove is literally covered. And so, ended up not working out exactly what I wanted, but I think it turned out okay. I think what I should have done is even less of the foil. The foil is so bright. I'll let that settle for a second, and then I'm going to finish pouring it now. Because it really was moving slow with all of that foil in there. One of my favorite pieces you've seen, I guarantee, a bunch of times on this channel, and we'll see again in the future, is my business card holder. Great for holding stickers, small objects, perfect for my displays. This one as well will not be demolded this week. And one last little piece that also will not be demolded, but don't worry, those three in the back will. And I was messing around with a little bit of that foil earlier, and so there's a little bit on that heart. And there you go, that's all the resin for this week. Thank you all for watching. Now let's see the demolding. All right, now as I told you, the color changed. And 24 hours later, look at this color. What would you call it? I'm calling it peach. It's like a light peach is what I think it looks like. And remember, what we just poured, it was solid red. And so that chameleon over time literally took over, and that chameleon was a red, yellow, orange. Well, if you mix red and yellow and orange, a peach is what you're going to end up getting. And I think it's perfect. This is a young lady in her 20s, and so she's absolutely going to love this color. It's so pretty. Let me go ahead and demold the first piece. Demolded pretty easy because there's so many ridges to this thing. You just about to pop all the ridges off. All right. Looks beautiful in my opinion. Tell me what you think. Definitely going to be a new favorite mold for me. I do love it. And as I said, next year I'll be trying to make some of my own tray molds. But this is the kind of stuff that's been inspiring me for the last 2 years, is these trays and these, business card holders, simple things, but have so much practical use. And so that's what I'll be doing next year, is trying to focus on making some of my own stuff. But I think I'm doing really good at using other people's molds right now. All right, the snowflake. It was a bit of an overpour job because the foil just kind of went everywheres. Not my favorite piece I've ever done. I think next time I'll do one with a barely any foil in it, because that big red splotch was kind of too much for me, too much color. But if you look at the sides, I like the little bits of green, the little bits of red. I think that looks really good. But the solid chunks is just a little bit much, All right, I've been teasing this for 3 weeks. It's a mystery mold. I know what it is. Now it's time for you to find out. Well, if you know anything about being a fabulous man, of course what it is a buff man. A buff man in a toga, that is. He looks absolutely beautiful. If you remember, from 3 weeks ago, we have that lovely blue. And then 2 weeks ago, we have that lovely abs full of purple. And then the nice peach on the bottom for his little peach. I love that silver foil in the top. And then those abs just look so good in purple. What do you think? What can I say? I love my new piece. It's a mystery. Thank y'all so much for watching. My name is Chris Collected. That's me right there. Thank y'all so much. Remember to trust in yourself, honor yourself and others, and create a world that is safer for everyone. See y'all next week for a relaxing time for adults.